What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review a 2012 album by Doe Hicks. Based this particular product is called Dope Sauce, and it came out in the fall of 2012. Now within the first bit here, as far as this pitch going to have, basically Doe Hicks is particularly Doe Hicks is a hit trap rapper within some of the pitch as far as the aspects can have. Now within these phrases, I'm not full back. Not sure his full bound as to when he particularly came up within the full bound type variety, but it's the pitch as far as saying really the information about this folk is pretty minimal within the traces of it. His products are becoming a lot more scattershot and well beneath the radar as far as these pitching emphasis within the aspects as far as saying I found this particular folk through like a particular kind of group mixtape as far as these present. Now not say group mixtape, but like a DJ hosted mixtape where it's brought to you by, like particularly it was brought by a Slice 9 hosted mixtape. So the fair, if you don't know who Slice 9 and that if you don't know who Slice 9 is, that's kind of fair amongst it as far as saying that he's a particular folk out of Future's Free Band Gang group. Future's Free Band Gang group from like the early 2010s, pitch like that. But he hosted a mixtape. There were a bunch of folks on that particular mixtape that he hosted. Doe Hicks was one of those, pitch like that. So it's a hit type appeal. But the aspect, he's a pretty prominent rapper throughout the 2010s, but a lot more low key within the sense that you probably had to dig decently beneath the trenches to be able to find this particular fellow. But particularly the most popular song on this album, according to Spotify, has 1,500 plays at tops. The rest of these don't have anything. The rest of these don't have over 1,000 plays out of the other 12 songs on here. So it's pitched like that as far as saying with the pitch behind it. Within the pitch, considering how ravenously popular trap was in like the 2010s, I still think this folk had a pretty good amount of cash flow and pitch like that. He has some folks on here. David Banner shows up a couple times. Boo Rossini, if you don't know who that particular folk is, he's the particular one of the extra folks that was on Gucci Mane's Icy song that also had Young Jeezy on there. There's a folk named Cassius on here. There's some folks named Savvy and Luck on here. A couple extra folks named Air Slim and Kill B, and I don't know if it's Pee Wee Longway that's on here, but there's a folk named Pee Wee on here as well. So it's pitched like that. But I look after it within the pitch first and some trap roundups pitched like that. Kind of minor traces of drill sensitive aspects. It's kind of pitch as far as like the aspect, like the tone of disc, the hit type appeal within these aspects where the flare kind of goes. Some house party jump on here, definitely kind of the in-between type rumble of going from like streetlight type curves and pitch like that, getting some nachos and fares like that in your system, pass around like the gin bottles, $15 bottle of gin, sends the pitches to the aspect as far as saying like the particular pitch of paying attention like the hit type variety pitch like that. So it's the aspect as far as saying the particular tone. Some buzz type appeals. This guy's like a particular similarity to the folks like Slim Duncan, Waka Flocka, and like Roscoe Dash, folks like that within the pitch of this. Kind of more trap roundup within the pitch of this hollows and pitch like that. So it's just kind of less hooky within the aspect, but the pitch as far as saying still has some pretty good gliss factor amongst it. So it's just kind of appeal. Kind of like Trinidad James, but just less kind of embellished and flamboyantness within the pitch as far as what's supposed to happen. So it's the aspect as far as saying just your standard kind of grustle kind of trap roundup within pitch like that. So it's kind of not quite as snarled as like Waka Flocka and folks like K.O. Rad and Slim Duncan, some of the folks, but definitely within pitch it just like this would be one of those house party kind of streetlight DAP kind of regulars. You'd see it within the pitch. It definitely probably no one within the phrase familiar and fluent within the aspect of like tapes like Salute Me or Shoot Me and some of these type ones like by Woo Da Kid and like particular Day Day and Devo Montana and some of these type folks like that, in particular just Rich Gates and folks like that. So it's within pitch for us saying, but paying attention towards it. So yeah, simple enough. This album gets a 10 out of 10 pitch like that. Now within the variety as far as saying, within the track down type factor of it, I'm not as full bunch. I would think this product is probably on at least iTunes or Amazon pitch like that, but within the variety as far as saying whether or not you could just walk by a local shop and find this pickup within these type phrases, it's a little bit more like the fair amongst this folk within the pitch that and say it might be within the availability of ordering, but it doesn't feel as complex like a standard kind of CD type store pitch like that. That'd have like the blockade of some of these type ones. So this pitch for us saying definitely variety, but it's just kind of more in between the cracks, the trenches pitch like that. So hit type feels just paying attention towards it. And that's not to say it's not quality, but it's a pitch for us saying it's definitely you got some good fellows around if they know who this particular folk is. So it's good pitch like that with these hit type phrase pitch like that. But looking after the most popular song according to Spotify is I Look Good pitch like that. This particularly has David Banner, Savvy, and Luck on there, so it's good pitch as far as what's supposed to happen. This is like a grand routine, kind of Datpiff, kind of Roscoe Dash, kind of buzz flourish, get towards here, just house party kind of stretch out, I'd say, to some good jumps. So it's kind of the pitch. Some of those type ones, it just feels like some of those type tunes by Travis Porter, Roscoe Dash, fares like that, feels like No Hands, and some of these type pitches. routine kind of trap vanilla typeness within pitches like that. So excellent type appeal to some of those type ones. Get the nachos poured out, get some Doritos going, pitch like that. Some stuff fair just to miss the pitch I'd like. Beezy showing up, real good, nice flair within these type pitches. Just the loud pack and noise getting within the crunkness factor. So pitch like that. Definitely some TV, radio kind of banging pitch like that. Some stuff ones that just feels like good buzz. Feels like a great buzz single and pitch like that. Dope sauce intros hitting as well as like a brewing kind of trap rile up to get towards here. Just smoke a split definitely and get centered. Sunny subtones. Just Doritos run within these aspects. Vibe check for gal. Initial type carn starting to pop off pitch like that. Definitely Doritos run getting towards the product of just the crunk. The jump and the kick start going pitch like that. Just some vibe check to kind of get towards as far as these pitch counts. So with an aspect, definitely say with gal pitch like that is hey, what you need today pitch like that sends the fairs some of these type aspects within the pitch of. You can get some licorice and donuts, some stuff fairs good pitch like that. Particular aspects, lip gloss, some stuff probably some stuff aspects and tons pitches that just like goody come through is pitch like that. Excellent type phrase pitches like that. Extras to hitting type one. This probably could have worked as like a follow-up kind of buzz type tunes. Good pitches here. It's like a good buzz anthem kind of 2000s trap with like mild drill kind of hop about it. Just mess hall kind of rumble I'd say. Memes definitely popping tonight. Some stuff fairs is great knowing. Great nice one to get the spark up kind of going within the flares of a pitch like that. Just get towards the crunkness, so it's kind of like I Look Good, but just without like the gloss, like the hooky kind of chorus and pitch like that. So this has the fair, but just some good, nice particular type products. So just getting the carnage kind of facilitated pitch like that. Some extra type flares, pocket implants, the hitting type ones like a glissy kind of Datpiff regular kind of get towards here. Some stunt flash, definitely neighborhood kind of weave. I'd say swag pickups for gal and. Just admits like some swag pickups for gal pitch like that. Pick up like some kettle corn, sense of aspects, good nice treats and aspects like that. Hard apple cider, sense of pitches, aspects like that. Particular pitch of. Throw some trail mix in there, good pitch like that as well with sunny stuff aspects. A hit type peel as far as the aspects can happen. Good excellent pitches. My Whole Life is a nice one as well as like a good fast life youngsters and Gorilla Zoe kind of pop trap kind of get towards here. Some of those type rides that just feels ripped out of early 2009, late 2008. OJ the Juice Man type variety, some of pitches feels like some of those type ones like Stupid by particular players circle, some of those ones like that from those particular days is What's Good. Definitely on some What's Good type vibes, just post up within a gulag type sense of just leftover, kind of within the variety like albums like Paper Trail, but kind of like the alternative to that, the way Gorilla Zoe, the way Gorilla Zoe kind of had songs like Hell of a Life and so stuff. The way Gorilla Zoe had some of those hit tunes in 2009 like Hell of a Life and Echo pitch like that. Some of those type fairs just swerve alongs within those type pitches. So it's kind of the dredge factor, just kind of the post up, typical ATL type noise. I want to say I'm not as full bunch sure if Doe Hicks is from Atlanta, but it seems like with enough similarities, there's some pitches on here that feels like leftovers to like particular folks like Trinidad James, Fast Life Youngsters, OJ the Juice Man, in particular like traces of some of those type jumpers pitch like that. Since the basics, a little bit of Waka Flocka and Gucci Mane in there, Zaytoven pitch like that. So it's a fray. If I didn't say Trinidad James, definitely him as well, but I think I did pitch like that. But this is the fair. Some of those ones we had definitely some just pop trap kind of dredge pitch like that. It's kind of the factor just swerve alongs weaving through like the day shine. I just like the particular fair just got done with having some Arby's pitch like that. Just bills paid pitch like that. Street Runners banging as well as like an excellent kind of throwback to 2000s kind of DJ drama dedication type vibes pitch like that. Just some dedication type Grussel, Fam and Diva runs pitch like that. Just pick us for some of them. Since the basics just getting it done. Fairs are just like the commitment and fairs like that with them pitch are just like the day, everyday, the everyday kind of utility type product pitch like that. It's kind of a push type song. Project Profit is hitting as well as like a quality homestead kind of trap and resonate to kind of get towards here just nostalgia and grip. I definitely say Sunset pitched amongst it's kind of the fair disc home. It's a residential kind of collect and pitch like that. It's a residential kind of collect and pitch like that. Sunset Fridays amongst it just lays and grape sweets. I definitely say to kind of keep things centered. So it's a pitch far saying to some of those stuff fairs that just post up, just the routine of just seeing what's up with it. Pitch like that. Sunset Fridays. It's kind of the way Eminem would do some of these type of songs like Mockingbird and pitches like that. My first single and pitch like that sounds hit type appeals, Yellow Brick Road, but kind of the pitch as far as just saying a little bit, it's within a trap type sense and just a little bit more kind of not so much full bound cheery like jubilant, but just kind of pitch it just like kind of dim type nostalgia pitch like that. So it's kind of fair, just like that Hero, the way probably the way Gucci Mane would approach like an Eminem type song pitch like that, just some of that brooding typeness, but just with the aspect of not so much in like a horror type mood, but just kind of reflective. Yep, this is what's up. So it's pitch like that, just kind of kind of a bruised, kind of chipper type one pitch like that, but some stuff probably just kind of scoring, but just in a good type way. So pitch like that. Ice Cream's a nice one as well. It's like a shrill and red hot kind of trap sound off. Get towards here, just get ignorant off this particular song for a pitch like that. Good accent price, just some stone kind of post up. Definitely. What I mean by that is just a pitch of gonna just within the product of station within like the station within the product of the post up, enjoying a hell of a time pitch like that. Just mad jokes going, sense of pitches, just gossip, just very lit type tune. Routine kind of trap type bang. This takes it back to like the Waka Flocka. This particular hit type appeal definitely takes back to the Waka Flocka and Dirt Gang kind of 2011 type appeal pitch like that. Since hit type prices, some of these type pitches amongst the good accent fares, it's that particular type bang that some of these type ones will get to the post up like. Kind of rep yo hood typeness pitch like that. Some surprise for us the pitch can have is just the aspects for us like the player just definite accent kind of neighborhood sound off pitch like that. Some surprise, but just getting to the product like Porsche type noise and just block type around a street curb type excellence pitch like that. Some surprise, get some Taco Bell passed around pitch like that. Definitely hit type appeals. Word around town's hitting type one with things aspects hit type price like a definitely, it's like a solid kind of block round up and congregate as far as these pairs can have them curbside spliffs and hollow definitely sense the pitches with BC type fits as well as some of these type pairs that miss like the noise. Then like the gather of it pitch like that. Definitely some what it do's pitch like that. So there's kind of the aspect of feeling some hollow type fits more around like residential type fairs. So it's kind of pitch as far as saying some of these particular type divas that are just within the nearby facilities, girl next door type vibes and pitches like standard floozy type aspects. Not to say floozy in terms of this like in terms of like throwaways, but just the pitch as far as just the aspect of like, hey, you know, just you're here gonna haul a sense the pitches aspects like that. It's gonna tone of just hit this particular zigzag sense of pitches, hit this lemon wrap or vanilla wrap sense of pitch aspects like that, have some windmill cookies pitch like that sense of price. And it's not to go stumble into the house and get like 50 things, but this kind of pitch, just neighborhood type things that's just kind of within the fray, just on top of the shit that's already around pitch like that sense of price, just being being courtship pitch like that is kind of fair. You're matching today, that's a surprise pitch like that sense of type. So not to be a full, not to be horrid ass clown, but just pitch like that sounds affairs. But pitches like that amongst the phrase. Other type ones, I don't think I talk about like it or love it. It's the hit type ones, like a routine kind of mixtape type flourish, kind of get towards here and every day as far as these pitches. I haven't chunked the deuce definitely with pals, and it's the pitches, definite house party type bops and these type aspects. Kind of feels like one of those Meek Mill, Dream Chasers, and Yo Gotti type hustle type tunes within the pitch, just like the leftover type fire. Definitely some Datpiff every day within these type pitches, just easily kind of haul and just the grand kind of flip mode with pals. So it's just a little bit more of a social type one. Some of those other type ones, a little bit more for Dolo pitch like that, getting towards the grease and the grip of it, fares like that. But this particular one just has the appeal, just like the Break Free, which actually has like the collective like taking a load off, pitch like that, get towards like some appeal, Lay's chips everywhere, pitch like that, get some spliffs going, some aspects, mixtape with folks, they're going to know what you're talking about, pitch like that's the hit type appeal, kind of shedding out of like SFW mode or just the product of the day fare, so it's pitch like that, still miss some degree of grease within pitch like that within fare, just leftover type grustle and pitch like that, but just to provide some of this type fares, houseparty type bop to kind of come home to pitch like that. I think that more or less might take care of it here as far as these pitch can happen. I don't know if I talked about I actually don't know if I talked about my sauce as far as these pitch can happen. My sauce, the hitting type ones, like a grand trap kind of block rumble to get towards here, just litness, definitely I'd say. Streetlight kind of every day, I'd say within pitch like that, just some gin and juice passed around, since the price, know your mean going crazy, some stuff pitched like that. Know your meme type product going crazy, some of these stuff pitched like that. Standard neighborhood type noise is the pitch as far as saying paying attention towards some of these type ones. It's kind of pitch and dislike the product I like as the sun starts to set the product I like the pop off type prices. Within pitch is some of these type ones like ice cream and pocket implants pitch like that, word around town, like it or love it, sun stuff fairs, but it's more outdoor type price. So kind of within the aspect within the typical then type aspects, the aspect of the goodies definitely being there since the pitches. Some of those type products that feels like a 2010s type rendition, like Snoop Dogg from Gin and Juice type days, some of these type pitches, but definitely product. Candid type gab pitch like that, sentence that phrase, just the product of classic movies to kind of spit about, pitch like that, Pulp Fiction and V for Vendetta, sentence that pitch like that, sentence that ones. White Men Can't Jump, sentence that pitch like that, Above the Rim, sentence that pitch like that, excellent type varieties. Harold and Kumar pitch like that, but hit type aspects for the players going to have paying attention towards it. So the aspects for us saying, I think in these hit type varieties, I'm thinking that might be about the rope up of it as far as these pitching. I'm paying attention towards it. The only leftover type one, I did talk about extras. So then pitch as far as saying, just the pitch as far as saying, paying attention towards it. So 10 out of 10 album pitch is like 10 out of 10 album pitch like that. Social Score is going to get a 10 out of 10 as well. Note, then the pitch for saying the actual quality of like the express about this album, it's within pitch. This is a capital type album. This is the pitch. It's very low key within the type pitches. If you're not ardently kind of familiar with trap pitch like that, the chances, I mean, the largest name on here would probably be David Banner, but it's past like his main spread kind of chart type days, not within like the aspect of like a pimp and play and some of those type ones and touching some of those type ones like that, and Shoddy say some of those type pitches. But it's the aspects for saying he still was pretty popular around that time. He had a series of 2010s type hits and pitch like that. So it's the aspects for saying some hit type feels. Some of these trap type folks, Boo Rossini from Icy's on here, since the pitches. Some trap folks like Savvy and Lux, Air Slim and Killer B, Cassius, some of these type ones. So there's folks like that on here, particularly the rundown with some of these type ones, just the aspect of kind of weaving between house party type gems, pitch like that for like some pop that type fair and hollow type fits. Some of these pitches to kind of have like swag. They have like some swag fits and some type aspects, and also like streetlight type dap with pitch like that, just pass around the gin and juice and fairs like that, just hella know your main going since the pitch amongst the standard dap and lace just passed around pitch like this. The hit type feel as far as saying, sometimes it tones a little bit of swerve on there with the aspects of like some makeshift leftovers, and just the pitch like some of these products amongst the fray, just kind of some rile up, some of the pitch to get towards the trap aspect of just getting crunk pitch like that with the flare. Flare amongst his albums and pitch like that, a little bit of favor runs for fat. No but a favor runs for Fam and Diva. Few favor runs for Fam and Diva pitch like that, but yeah, pretty social type album within these type pitches as far as the fair's gonna have them paying attention towards it. So definitely good prolificness pitch like that. So hit type feels. In terms of the future, the fair about it with Doe Hicks kind of not is within pitch. I'm not as full bunch sure if Doe Hicks like has a particular kind of rate your music type page. If he does, I don't know if it lists all the products as the pitch. The information about him is kind of more on the minimal type side as the pitch as far as saying the product is. It's kind of trickier. It's not everyday conversation that this folk pops up within sense of pitch. So it's kind of the product that is really low key unless you know about the Atlanta and a good several things kind of know about the mixtape type flourish pitch like that. So it's fair as far as saying, but apart from that, it's the pitch for saying some banner typeness. But in terms of the future, I'm not as full buncher. He probably has some further type products. He at least has another type. One that I'm going to get towards pitch like that, but then hit type feel as far as saying it's classic album here, easy within these type pitches, some banging typeness, but stay tuned for more of these, but this is a blistering one.